Hey friend, we're back in the kitchen, hanging out together. I don't know if you have your coffee, I've got my coffee. And I'm so grateful for these weeks that I've gotten to share with you the things that really matter to me. You know, Mimi's Treasure Chest, the 100 Days of Happy group, where I get to connect with people sharing things like this that really matter. Making memories, we've talked about. The stuff in life that matters isn't stuff we've talked about. Today, I want to talk to you about God nudges. I'm also going to talk to you about God taps. I'm also going to talk to you about how God nudges can be God taps. A God nudge for you can be a God tap for somebody else. I heard a story recently about somebody who worked at Cracker Barrel. Now, I don't know if it was the one in my hometown or your hometown, but they worked at Cracker Barrel. And they went to wait on a table who had observed an elderly man and woman walking in and sitting down at another table. And when they went to wait on this particular table, not the elderly man and woman, but the original table, the people at the original table said, I need you to do something for me. God really has just impressed upon me to pay for that couple's meal. So I want you to bring me their bill. Now, look, we all know about this. We know about paying it forward and covering the person's meal behind you in the drive-through, or we've heard about these stories and they're wonderful. But what made this one different was the person said, I really feel like God just told me to cover that couple's meal. Will you bring me their bill? And after I leave, will you tell them what happened? And the server said, absolutely, yes. So it all went down, just like I'm telling you that it went down. Well, what happened is after the original person who covered the meal left and the server went to the table to share what had happened, the gentleman had left the table. And the woman, the elderly woman, was still sitting there. And the server shared. That person told me to tell you that God told them, God laid it on their heart to cover your meal today. And she began to weep. And she said, well, the gentleman that just walked away to the restroom is my brother. And his wife just passed a day or 2 days ago. And he has spent the entire time telling me, I don't even know if there's God. Where's their God? God's going to have to show himself to me because this pain is so deep. I just don't know if there's God. So she was weeping. And when he came back to the table and heard of this, he was weeping. And the difference was from just paying it forward. The difference was God laid this on my heart. God told me to do this for you. So when the server walked to the table and said, the person covered your meal because God told them to cover your meal, they both felt like it very much was a God tap. I call them God taps because sometimes God taps me on the shoulder often and says, hey, I got this. I'm here. I got you. And he'll tap you as well. And then he also nudges us sometimes to do something for someone or say something to someone. My niece recently reminded me when I was talking to her about sharing something with someone else we know, and it had been really heavy on my heart. She said, I learned from you that when something's on your heart like that, it's a God nudge. You need to reach out to this person. She was right. So God nudges are when God nudges you. When you've got a burning sensation in your belly, I call it an unction, to do something or say something, do it. It could be a God tap for somebody else. It was in the case of this Cracker Barrel story. Come join me in 100 Days of Happy, the Facebook group. More stories like this are shared there.